All righty, what's up, everyone? Y'all give yourself a hand. We appreciate y'all so much for coming out tonight. We are truly honored to have you all here tonight. So this is going to be an awesome experience. I'm gonna get this music down in just a second. I'll get it down up there. Welcome to everyone who's online that could not make it in person. You just found out you can go online, but we are welcome to have you here. So welcome to New Life of Excellence. I will be your host for tonight, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself here. We go to the next slide. So my name is Siege Jefferson. I'm a entrepreneur here in Spartanburg. Can we mute the music here for me if you don't mind, real fast? Let's see if we can help her out right there. So I'm an entrepreneur here. I am the owner of Oak and Ave Property Group. We are a development and brokerage company here out of downtown Spartanburg. Man, I'll tell you what. I came to Spartanburg and I didn't know anyone except for my wife. Thank you so much, sir. And this was roughly 15 years ago out of college. And, just to see the growth that I've seen in Spartanburg, the relationships and the connections that I've been able to make, I tell you, is absolutely amazing. So I love where Spartanburg is going. I love what we're doing. There's so many opportunities here. And tonight, we are going to talk through those opportunities. We're going to talk about I'm talking about some real good stuff. Y'all go ahead and get your notebooks out. Get your phones out. Everybody got a notebook or phone? Everybody got it? Y'all got them out? There we go. All right, go ahead and get all that stuff out because tonight, look, we want to be open, transparent, and we want it to be good. Not just leaving here. We want you to leave with more than what you came with. And today, that's going to be a wealth of information, and I'm talking about from some knowledgeable, real deal folks in the business world. I have a perspective. It's been a few years. I hope I get to share some of my stories, some of my perspective. We're going to ask some good stuff. Here's your challenge. As we're going through tonight, start writing down some questions and some thoughts that you might have. I'll show you what this looks like. Let's go to the next slide. As we go through, we've already had our networking dinner. Did y'all enjoy dinner? Y'all did? That was Wade's, by the way, if y'all don't know. That was the one and only. That was Wade's. So we're going to have we already had networking dinner. We're going to have greetings from our mayor. We have an icebreaker. We're going to have our speakers. Then we're going to go to the pros panel. All right, straight from the pros. And I don't have any questions prepared. I started to prepare some. My goal is to not have to ask them any questions. Those need to come from you all. So as you're listening to them, as you're getting information, we're going to show them online that we are prepared. We ain't going to have to hesitate. Be ready to ask it and to get it now, okay? And then from there, we will have Power Up come up and just give us a little bit more about what they do. So I'm going to have a lot to say, so I'm going to keep this thing going. Y'all okay? Y'all excited? Y'all loose? Clap. Let everybody clap. There we go. Yes. This is going to be awesome tonight, man. I'm so excited. All right. So as we get started, I'm going to ask Jay Jenkins of Power Up, the director of Power Up, to just come and give us a few words, a brief overlay of who they are, what they do, why this type of collaboration is important, because this doesn't happen without them. We thank you for your collaboration. We thank you for your spirit of excellence, and the floor is yours. Come on up, sir. This is Mr. Jay Jenkins. Y'all give him a hand as he come up.
I'm not used to coming up before the mayor. But it's great to be here. I've been here before, Pastor White. I love your message that Sunday, and I'm definitely coming back. Destin was here. But Power Up is just an awesome initiative that we started. I'm so happy that One Spartanburg, Inc. and the county of Spartanburg saw a need to help small businesses, and we want to do something about it. When you think of Spartanburg County, you think of large industries as BMW, Oshkosh Defense, Milo T, the list go on and on. What you don't think about is small business. So what we've done for the last 14 months is that we have created a small business ecosystem that is working. And, when we first started this, there were people who were doubtful of what we were doing. So that's why we engaged people like Siege, everyone knows Siege is a man of honor. So when he says something, that people take note of that. So when we brought Siege in and showed him this, and his only words were, as long as it works, I'm with you. So it is working. As of right now, we've engaged over 1,800 small businesses across the county. Because this is a county initiative. over 1,800 businesses across the county. We've also given out just a little over $3 million that we've given out to small business. Thank you. And Siege can tell you that's just not hyperbole. That's real money that's going in the hands of small business. Siege sent someone to us like 2 weeks ago. And I told Siege they just got their money, $10,000. So so, and it's just not about money. Money is awesome. We understand, and everywhere I go, I tell people that money is important to minority-owned businesses, black-owned businesses, because we know that we have not been equally funded when it came to come to businesses. That's not a secret. That is the facts. So to be able to do this, that's great. That's why I have to give a hand to one of our partners. One of our greatest partners is Carolina Foothills Federal Credit Union. You know, when you talk about a financial institution that's in the community that want to help the community, they are. Terry Hendricks is just awesome, her and her team. When we brought this to them, we brought in every institution into One Spartanburg and say, who can give us the best plan? Well, Terry and Scott Weaver, they said, you know what? We'll give you a $10 million loan pool. $10 million loan pool. So Terry, thank you for that. Okay. So we're doing really great stuff. Our grant program just got depleted. So I was told when I first got here that grant money would last 6 months. But guess what? It lasted 18 months. So we're looking to how to replenish the grant money because we understand that's important. And maybe some different ways we do it this time, but we will have a grant pool. But what's important is this. I just want to tell you, how do we grow? Because this is not only about money, it's about how we grow the community. So I'm so happy to say so far, the program has hired 75 people. So 75 people have been hired because of this program. Also, that doesn't include independent contractors. Businesses have hired 102 independent contractors. And it's important, who are getting this funding? This is a small business initiative, all right? But 80% of our funding have gone to the city. And I have to give a hand to the mayor because he's not only walk what he says, he means it. The mayor have called me up many times, even on weekends, and said, hey, listen, Jay, I need you to meet with this person. He brought into our office black businesses and say they need help. So when you talk about what the mayor does, I know personally that he fights for this community every day. So that's just a kind of overview of what we're doing. Siege is a community captain. He knows all the programs. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you so many. We even sending business owners back to college and get their degrees. So there's a lot we're doing. But I will tell you this, there's never been a time in the history of Spartanburg that you have this type of opportunity. There is so much money and an opportunity in the city and the county of Spartanburg than ever before. So shame on you if you don't take advantage of this. You must take advantage of this because I tell people this is not going to happen again. I mean, $100 billion re-degree program in the community. You can go back to school, millions of dollars for small businesses, so it's really awesome. But before I leave, I have to also, I get to stand up and talk about all these great stuff. These wonderful ladies, they actually do a lot of the hard work. So Destiny Dominguez, I'm sorry, Destiny. Destiny, I know many of you talk to her. I don't go anywhere without her because she kind of keep me straight and make sure that we're going the right way. She's done an awesome job, so thank you, Destiny. And also Carson May Brown, who recently came to our team, but we are growing. So thank my team, and I thank you. If you have any questions, please let us know.
Come on. Thank you, Jay. Thank you to the Power Up team for all you guys are doing. I tell you, he said it. Get it. Y'all heard the saying, get it while the getting's good. the getting is good right now in Spartanburg. The way that it's growing, you have to make sure it behooves you to grow with it. So now you have to be intentional and very persistent in the resources. It's not only money, but it's technical assistance, there's networking, there's opportunities. Listen, if you're going to get it now. And now we will have a few words from our mayor, Mayor Jerome Rice. He addresses our room. We appreciate your time, brother.
You see that picture? I'm sweating up there on that picture. And Jay, thank you for those words, man. It's not an election year for me, but you keep those words and tell them that I'm working for them. I'm working for them. No, thank you, Siege. Pastor White, thank you, man, for having this here at your church building, just to informing our people. Now, truly, as the mayor, I get a call about any and everything. I mean, really. I get calls daily. I get emails daily. You can truly imagine. But when I get something about a new business or struggling business or a black-owned business or just an ideal for a business, I do have a resource that I can call and point people in the right direction, and that is Power Up. That is Power Up. Guys, I don't know if you heard him correctly, but the county, I'm the mayor of the city of Spartanburg, but the county kicked this off with $6.2 million. The county kicked this off with $6.2 million of ARPA funds. It was ARPA funds that were passed down. 80% of the people that have been helped to this point are city residents. So what should the city do? But add something to the pot, right? So the city will kick in $250,000. Let me get it right. Let me get it right before you get Let me get it right. $250,000, because our art funds and allocation was not quite as high as the county, but we do see the need and who is benefiting. So we wanted to make sure we had some skin in the game. We truly have some skin in the game. And we're still pushing for more opportunities as we're working with Oak and Ave. And as I see Siege here to my left, we just voted for 7 properties that Oak and Ave can have. Again, being intentional for home ownership. Home ownership. That is the quickest way that we have an opportunity for some generational wealth. For generational wealth. I grew up on the north side of town, man, and we rented my house. We rented our house. My mom did for years. For years, we rented a home at 218 Weldon Street. I remember going to pay the rent to J.W. Woodward Funeral Home. You know, you walk into the funeral home. If you go to the left, if you walk in the front door, the left side is the offices. So sometime I would go in there and nobody's on the left side in the office. So if you go on to the back, the body's in the back. But I had to go pay that rent. And I hated going to that back, seeing those bodies. But that was good to me. And I say all that because, to be totally honest, my mom and I purchased a house at the same time. So we were renters throughout our life. We were renters. But my mother saw a need. We saw a need. So now we have an opportunity to teach my kids, her grandkids, and then when my kids have kids, because I do have grandkids, we can teach them as well. So that's just a start. That's just a start. But I'm here just to open this up. Take advantage of what Jay was just telling you. Power Up is there for us. It's not just there for you. It's there for us. Take advantage of it. He hit just briefly on re-degree. So many of us get some college education. We graduate high school and we go to college and stop for whatever reason. We stop for life. We have circumstances. We have some things that get in the way. But One Spartanburg has an opportunity for you to go back to school and help you pay for it. Learn this stuff. It's out there for us. Like I said, I just don't want to say you. It's out there for us. Take advantage. Take advantage. While the getting is good, Jay, better get it. It may not always be there. And like I said, this is not an election year for me, but it's a very important election year for us. For us. Understand what's coming down the pipeline, because I hope everyone in this room is a registered voter. And if you are not, please go get registered tomorrow. I cannot tell you who to vote for, and I won't tell you who to vote for because it's not me in this election. But make sure you pay attention to what's going on. Make sure you pay attention to what's going on. This is truly an important election year. No, I kind of got off seeds, but that's important, man. That's important. You talking about black-owned businesses. You talking about generational wealth. This election is important. So again, thank you all for coming out and hearing this. And again, Pastor White, thank you all for having this open forum for the people to be informed. Thank One Spartanburg. I don't know who all's on the panel, but thank you all for showing up. And take advantage of the opportunity because, again, this is for us. This is for us. Thank you all. Y'all have a good evening. Thank you, man. My brother. Love you, man.
No, this is good stuff. Y'all ready? Y'all okay? All right, y'all got to lock in. Lock the doors back there. Ain't nobody leaving till y'all get all of this. Y'all will not get past Sister LaWanna, I promise you. So as we go forward, here's what we're going to do, okay? Right now we're going to have just a brief icebreaker, okay? Just to get our blood flowing. Then we're going to jump straight in to our mini sessions and then followed by our panel. But at this time, I'll have Sister India Martin come up and help us explain to how we're going to do this icebreaker.
All right. Good evening, everyone. All right. So go ahead and get up. Let's stand up. We said we're going to jump right to it, okay? We got our bellies full if you were a part of the networking dinner. All right. So this activity, as you can see, is called Who's in the Room? And you may have a paper here, all right, that's got a few instructions. We are going to remix the instructions a little bit, so just follow my lead. So we want to take it a step deeper from the networking dinner, okay? So what that looks like is you're going to take this piece of paper and you are challenged to list as many names as possible who have the same answers as you. So if you notice, question number 1 reads asks, who has a full-time job while trying to start a business? If that applies to you, you're going to walk around and say, okay, who has a full-time job while they're trying to start a business? And you can keep going and going and going. But here's the catcher. You've only got 2 minutes. How many minutes? 2. All right. So we're going to start the timer. And, y'all cheating. Y'all cheating.
3, 2, timer's going.
Go.
All of you who are joining us online, we truly, if you're joining us online, we're having a speed moment right now. If you are online, go ahead and message somebody and ask them, hey, who else is starting a business? The 3 questions are this. Who has a full-time job while trying to start a business? Who's had a business for 3 to 5 years and is registered LLC, S Corp, or etc.? And who came here to learn about business funding? Message somebody, text somebody, talk to somebody online, comment with somebody, and we have 1 minute and 15 seconds. If you're joining us online, 1 minute and 15 seconds. Thirty seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, cuatro, tres. That's all I knew. Dos, 1. Time's up. Time's up. Back to your seat. Time's up. Time's up. Woo, 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 woo. Y'all hear that? Time's up. Time's up. No time. No more talking. Time's up. Time's up. Jay Jenkins said he got $250,000 for somebody. Look, for the winner. He said, "Look, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that." All right. Now we're gonna have Yep. We got some gifts here, and I'll let you direct it.
Okay, so y'all were not honest about that start time. I saw y'all. So be honest when I ask you all these questions. All right, so did you make a lot of connections, or did you find people who are doing the same things you are doing? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to start to take account. I'm watching y'all. I will ask for your paper. Raise your hand if you found 5 people. You know what? That's a great question. That's just, okay, we're going to go with number 1, 5. Okay, what about 10? Okay, all right. What about 12? All right, so we got 10 for number 1. Oh, what, 11? Oh, we can keep going. Oh, 11. Oh, okay, we got 11.
So, come up. Sorry. Come on up. Come on up. We counting them in the back. We good? Sister Luana back there, our muscle, she counting them. You got 11 too? You got a question? Oh, that's actually a good question. You got your own name on there? No, she don't. No, that's it. All right. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What is the business that you either have or plan to have? Come up here. We can't see you online. Right here, and just tell us just briefly. You got 15 seconds.
Okay. I am Terry Smith, and I have a vending business. So if you need drinks, snacks in your businesses, anywhere you open up a new business, people like to snack and they like to eat, call me. Let me come in and introduce my machines to your customers.
What's your business name? What's your business name and contact?
My business name is Bougie Butterfly Vending. I can be reached at 864-497-2183. And I'm always at New Life.
Come on, Bougie Vending Machines. Okay, get you a bougie chip. Get you a bougie Gatorade. All right. You have a book here, #1 Wall Street Journal bestseller by Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand, and you have a Power Up shirt. It's your choice. Which one is yours? She wants the book. Get the book. Go ahead with your book. Put it in the vending machine then. That thing gonna get stuck in that machine. All right, do we have any art? No, there you go.
Okay, so number 2, the question was, who's had a business for 3 to 5 years? And then we went a little deeper with if it's registered, all right? Raise your hand if you found 5. Number 2, I thought we were going to number 2.
They ain't making it.
Oh. Y'all didn't make it.
She got 2.
Oh, we're going to keep rolling with number 1. Okay, well, come on up.
We got more.
You got 3?
We got 3. We got 2 or 3.
Number 1. Wait.
Number 2.
What are we on?
We're on number 2. Who has 3 for number 2? It's right there. We got 3. We got 3.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Number 2. Number 2.
We're gonna keep moving, and then we'll get them.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you got for number 2. Oh, Nika's the winner.
Anybody beat 7? Come on up.
Come on, Nika.
Tell us a little bit who you are, what you do.
Hello, New Life, and visitors and friends of New Life. It's 7. Won't you? I am Dr. Nika White, and my business is a full-service management consulting firm under my brand name, Nika White Consulting, and we intersect the work of diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging with leadership and business, working with all types of clients, different industries and sectors, helping them to integrate into their business framework strategic diversity, intentional inclusion, and a lens of equity.
Come on now. Come on now. I hope you can fit extra large. Come on now. You done powered up the whole room right there. That's all you. You can wear that to bed if you can't fit it, all right? Thank you so much. Y'all give her another hand. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. That's what it's about. Y'all energy feel good? Y'all all right? All right, we're going to keep this thing going. You cannot leave. I'm making that clear. You cannot leave. I don't care what else you got to do. You shouldn't have came. All right? So this is some good stuff right here. And as we get this started, I want to introduce someone who is not only near and dear to me for so many reasons, but when it comes to business, when it comes to the intellect thereof, when it comes to an amazing story and a great person to just really sit and listen to, I know you're going to get some great stuff from this in this next 20 minutes. We're going to in the next 20 minutes. I know you're going to get some great stuff here. Y'all do not want to miss it. This is our first speaker. He is the CEO and founder of James White Enterprises, LLC. Y'all please put your hands together for Mr. James White Jr. Yeah, yeah. Oh, no.
All right, good evening, everybody. All right, did they put that timer up? They said we got 20 minutes now. So at the end of the day, I want you to give yourselves a great big old, I'm like standing ovation for being here tonight, like real big, yeah. Y'all, I'm talking about this for you. This for you. You got up and you made your way out. Now give a big old hand for your neighbor now, because they got dressed up. I wore that jacket long as I could. I wore that jacket long as I could. So here's the thing. I don't think that timer started, but at the end of the day, I've got a lot that I could share with you, but I have two others that are coming after me, and I'm sort of setting the tone. So if I take too long, they may take too long. If I end early, they might end early. Or if I end early, they might think I ceded them my time and go longer. I don't know. But at the end of the day, here's what I like to think about when I think about business. First of all, let me tell you who I am. We just found out as we were talking about question number one, like, do you have a full-time job while I run the business? And I said, I think so. I think I'm a bivocational pastor. I pastor this church that you are at, and I run a company called James White Enterprises, LLC. Now, what we do at James White Enterprises is real estate. From residential to commercial, you dream it, we'll build it, buy it, lease it, or sell it, one highly satisfied client at a time. That's right. Take that, Dr. Nico White. Take that, Dr. Nico White. So that's what we do. At the end of the day, we want to build equitable communities for those that we deal with, especially in minority communities. We're excited to be building in the north side of Spartanburg. As you see everything that is happening in and around the north side of Spartanburg, we're also excited to have lent ourselves to other small businesses in the room that have come up and have just needed an umbrella or someone to help in whatever way we could. This is my conviction that, man, I was so frustrated starting a business a long time ago, years ago, and trying to figure out where do I get some help from? Where do I get someone who will share some knowledge with me? And it was frustrating that I didn't. And I said to myself and to my creator, God, if I ever get in a door, whatever door it is, I'm going to leave it propped open as long as I can. I refuse to go into a door that people like me have been out of and then lock them out because I'm in. Are y'all following me? I said, are y'all listening to me? So then, as we talk about doing this stuff today, one of the reasons we want you networking and one of the reasons we want you communicating is because it is vital that you recognize that there are people that are inside of rooms that you may not have been privy to that really do want to get you inside, but you got to get yourself together, and this is how it starts. Everybody shout, all right, then. One of the things that I learned early on was when I started doing settings like this, oh, they said I can't walk. Yeah, so this is the first job as a pastor. People tell me what to do all the time. Like, I can't walk. I want to. but I can't walk. I gotta stand right here. So that's but one of the things that I want to make sure that you are aware of, and that is what it looks like to really be in business and to do it well. The name of our church is New Life of Excellence, and the reason excellence is on there, the reason you see it on the wall behind you when you walk out, is because I believe that if we are God's people and His name is excellent, we ought to represent that name in excellence everywhere, every day, every hour. And so when we do Marketplace, our transitions ministry was putting this on along with Power Up tonight. We do this because we are here to reach you beyond the Sunday morning experience. So let's give yourselves a hand for being here beyond the Sunday morning experience. All right, how many small business owners are in the house? All right, now I'm liking this. How many of you have a business in you but just haven't given birth to it yet? All right. So let me tell you one of the things that when I was visiting circles like this, one of the things I had to come to a realization of, and that is just answering this question: do I have a business or hobby? Business or hobby? Y'all say it back to me, because y'all, it's gonna get to you. And I want you to answer that. No, I want you to really answer that honestly. Somewhere on a piece of paper, just answer that honestly. And if you have a hobby, that we're not tripping on you. Now you're going to learn tonight what to do to get to business status. Everybody shout, all right. But what I don't want you doing, though, is you have a hobby and you go around handing out your cards to everybody and they can't get you on the phone because you're not really in business. You got a hobby. Now, y'all listening to me? I said snap if I'm talking right. Snap. There you go. All right, so so we want to make sure you have a business. So one of the things that I found out as I was in MBA program is that I basically had a lifestyle business when I started going. In other words, I had built my business to the point where it wasn't going to grow any further, but it was supporting my lifestyle. So it was cool. It was taking care of me, my wife, and all that good stuff. But then I had to make a decision. Am I willing to step out of the business to grow as an entrepreneur, as a business mind, et cetera, so that I could scale up a business beyond just being a lifestyle business? This is where you start to create jobs within your community. Everybody shout, all right. And so one of the things that I decided, I said, yeah, I think I want to go beyond just lifestyle, and I want to start creating jobs. And then seeing people who are in business, but they don't have all their stuff together, and say, listen, let us take you through, help you get legit in business, and so that you can do business with us. Because like when you have a legit business, to be honest, in my field, construction, you can't do business with people who are just have a hobby. Like just because they put their name on a card, that you can't do business with them, because I've got to carry something called workers' comp. And if I write a check to you and you're not legit, then they come back and tax me for that. Y'all understand what I'm saying to you? So there are levels to it, and I want you to start thinking about that tonight as we have this conversation. Everybody shout, all right. All right, so one of the things for sure, the slide, I'm really getting ready to go. Y'all see those balls up there? Soccer ball, what would you be playing? Well. like this ain't rocket science. What would I be playing if I had that soccer ball? The ball beside it. The ball beside it. The ball beside it. There you go. Volleyball. I didn't even volleyball. Are the rules to those sports different? The equipment needed for those sports different. Yeah, and the same is true if you are playing business ball. So if you don't play business ball, you got to be ready, and you got to have the right equipment. I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis of what that looked like, and you have to come back another day to hear the rest of it. Everybody shout, all right. So we deal a lot with acronyms around here. When I talk, I have to put the cookies on the shelf where I can reach them. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawing mail, right? So I have to try to keep everything right where I can reach it. So acronyms work for me, and hopefully they work for you. Everybody shout, all right then. The B&I acronym in playing business ball is a banker. Every business, every person in here, if you are playing business ball, if you have a business inside of you, I'm talking about write it down. You need to start thinking now, who is my banker? And I'm not talking about a teller that know your name. And something like that went over here. Like, what? The teller know me. No, I'm talking about a banker. You say, why is a banker important? A banker is important for multiple reasons. One, they live in the community that you live in. I want you to have a local banker now. I ain't talking about going to Wells Fargo and them putting you in a computer somewhere and sending you up to Charlotte to another computer. Y'all listening to me? I'm talking about a local banker that knows your name, that lives in your community, that is vested in the same community that you are trying to impact. All right, that's you got to have a banker. Everybody say it with me. Got to have a. Now, if we've worked together privately, I probably synced you to a banker, one or two. One of the beautiful things, the difference between a banker and just somebody knowing your name is they have lending authority. Lending authority. That person that knows your name, that you're sitting down, they have the ability to say yes or no to the loan you may need for your business. And they just said, they got 10 minutes that fast. Y'all better get quick. Everybody say, I need a banker. No, shout down your ass. Are you a banker? Because tell them I'm looking for one. I'm looking for one. I mean, Terry said, hey, Terry. Carolina Foothills is in the house, and we got a banker in the house. Here's what I love about it is that around here at New Life, like once we get relationships, we don't hide them. We just like here. So y'all know Carolina Foothills is a partner of ours as a ministry, and we want to be a partner of yours also. If they help, if they work, then they work, and if they don't, y'all let us know. Everybody shout all right. So you need a banker. What do you need? What's the first thing you need? The A stands for accountant. You gotta have it. Gotta have it. And I know you're probably thinking, I'm just getting started. I don't know. Start out with QuickBooks. Start where you are. But you gotta start keeping your books because your banker gonna want to see them. Terry, I said, is the banker gonna want to see him? She said, preach, preacher, preach. Terry has just seated me 20 more minutes. She said, preach, preach, preach. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. You cannot show up to the bank and your books have commingled funds. Y'all, Lisk is in the house. Lisk is in the house. Another banking partner, Lisk is in the house. And she went to snap and she said, come on, y'all, you got to tell them, quit commingling them funds. You say, what that mean? That mean you run your business all week and then you go and buy pinto beans and tomato juice out that account for you and your babies. And it is okay if you do it as long as you know that is your hobby. When you're ready to start a business, you got to stop commingling them funds. I ain't hear no snaps. I didn't hear no snaps. I did not hear any snaps. All right, so you need an account. You might say, QuickBooks, ADP. You say, I need funds because you're going to create jobs. In this room are businesses that are going to create jobs, and you need somebody keeping taxes out, all that good stuff, and ADP is a great place for you to go. Or you get a local accountant as you graduate. Everybody shout, I have it. I have it. Yeah, look, thank you. Yeah, I'm sweating and everything like Sunday morning. If I get somebody in the organ, I might hum up here. I saw my minister of music get up. I said, all right now. All right, y'all ready? 7 minutes. 6 minutes, Duggan, 6. Y'all ready? All right, what's the B stand for? Got to have it. What's the A? The L, got to have a lawyer on your team. Got to have a lawyer on your team. Don't ask me how I know, but you will need one eventually. You show up, you might be able to play soccer without one, but I'm telling you, you're going to do business on a large scale, you're going to need a lawyer on your team. Everybody shout, all right. Couple reasons for a good lawyer on your team is one, business structure. You want to make sure your business is structured right? Another reason for a good lawyer on your team is that you want to make sure your contracts that you're sending out to people, that they are airtight. You can't just send that contract out and that thing not be right. Everybody shout, the lawyer will help you get that right. You might say, man, Pastor White, we don't have a company like that. We can't. Man, let me tell you where I started. I started at Law Depot. LawDepot.com. You talk about, where Law Depot at? No, LawDepot.com, LegalZoom. You can go there, start there. I think they'll give you some consultation once or twice for a nominal fee, and then graduate to a local attorney, but make sure you have a lawyer on your team. And then, finally, you got to have leaders on your team. You got to have leaders on your team. Got to have what? B stands for banker, A stands for accountant, L stands for lawyer, L stands for leaders. You got to have leaders on your team. If you are running a team right now and you are hiring down people who know less than you know, you are not building your team the right way. You need people on your team to know more than you know. Hallelujah. I said hallelujah. So if I'm going to play ball, so one of the things that I love, like the number one leader on my team, I want to introduce you to her, is my fine as wine wife, and she's coming up now to let y'all see how well I do things. So this is why you need leaders on your team. One is because leaders get to run with your vision. They get to run with your vision. They get to run with your vision. What do leaders get to do? Leaders get to run with your vision. Leaders also get to be your voice or another voice when you are done speaking. A voice that carries your voice. That's leadership. They get to, and then they get to promote and push the team to victory. That was good right there. I just gave you 3 V's. I said a vision, a voice, and a victory. Thank you, ma'am. Back there in the back. I got a snapper in the back. Thank you, ma'am, in the back. So here's why I wanted to bring her up, because we started out in business like it was real dry. We started out with a flyer, and we built up to a lifestyle. We built up to where we had a 6-figure business, and it was doing pretty good, and we had a lifestyle. But then we built to 7 figures and beyond 7 figures, and it was like, oh wow. We got to get this thing going. And what I loved about it is when I was in a tight spot, I could bounce things off her. But then I knew she had a business in her. And this is why I wanted her up here real fast for my last, how many minutes I got now? 3? All right. I wanted her to tell you what it looks like, because she's the most recent to do it. She has just built in the last, how old is your company?
4 years.
4 years. She has taken a company from 0 in the last 4 years to over 7-figure company. 0, 7 figures, just like that. So I'm gonna hush and just let her tell you how she did it. But here's the beauty of it. I know one of the ways she did it, she had a good leader on her team. So go ahead and greet them, baby.
Oh, wow. Okay, in brevity, I did it through prayer, through faith. I cannot omit God in anything that's going on in my life, but also surrounding myself with accountability partners and people that had gone before me in the work and that believed in me and that could speak into me and give me guidance. And so leadership is very important, and passion. I'm incredibly passionate about what I do, working with children birth to 6 with developmental delays. And so that passion has helped me to grow my business with excellence and also with integrity and with a team that I absolutely love.
And how many team members do you have?
I have 25 employees. Yeah.
Why do I want the business in you to manifest is because if she had set her dream down, if we hadn't invested in her dream, 25 families may not have employment today. But because she went out and jumped out and trusted God, 25 families and then some have employment today. And then there are more, because now we got a whole cleaning team that keeps her buildings. She got 2 locations now. All that stuff happens because you believed in the business in you. Investing in you is important. Thank you for doing so. My time is up.
Oh, man. Come on, y'all. Put your hands together. I hope y'all ready to ball out, if you know what I mean. Oh, man. Y'all, hey, get your questions down. Get your stuff down. It's going to get better and better and better and better. I promise you, y'all, I know it's a lot. I know it's fast, but you want this. Is somebody inspired? Y'all inspired? Yeah. Y'all encouraged? I'm telling you, man, you got to ball out. Some of y'all, somebody ain't going to eat dinner tonight. What y'all eating? I'm not finna commingle my funds. You can get it yourself. No, it just got real for somebody. Yeah, cut it out. But no, we're gonna keep this thing going. This is really good stuff. You have to ball out. See you later, man. Rice. Thank you so much, man. You have to ball out. Appreciate all you do. I hope y'all clap for me like that when I leave a room, because that's wild. He didn't even do nothing. He just leaving. Okay. All right, so next. All right, y'all, listen. Now, watch this, y'all. I'm telling y'all right now, get out your notebook. Y'all got some sheets. They have their sheets already? If you don't have a pen, what you're going to do is put number 1 in your phone and then write down your answers. No excuses. I do it all the time. We got to get creative as entrepreneurs, right? So you're going to make sure you get this down. When y'all hear this man talk, I'm telling y'all, don't come up here, bombard them with questions. You better get it right now. You better get it while it's good. Hold on. Go back. All right. So because no, listen, this is demystifying finances, simplifying finances, business finances 101. This is who I pick up the phone and call. If he tell me I don't know about that siege, if you don't know about it, I don't know about it, because that's how much I trust him. So what I'm saying is the wealth of information that you're about to get in this short period of time, I think can be life-changing for you. And I know we all have questions when it comes to our finances. This is 101. Are y'all ready? This is the CEO of WH Trucks. I'm sure he'll tell us how they've grown and what they've done to prove what I just told you. Man, Mr. Carlo White. Y'all give him a hand, please. Brother.
All right. Good evening. What's happening, baby? Good evening. All right. So C's laid it pretty thick, so let me see what we can do with this. I'm Carlo White. I'm the leader of, actually, it says WH Trucking. WH Trucking is one of our companies. Now it's White Holdings Logistics Group, which owns multiple companies, including WH Trucking. So we got White Holdings Logistics Group. We have PTD, which is a transportation company, and PLI, which is a non-asset transportation company. And my former background is I own Nationwide Insurance, which I sold the majority share of that to invest into White Holdings Logistics Group. Now, how did I go from an insurance agent to a trucking company? I went there simply because in every business you have two skill sets. You have the technical skill set to, if you do hair, you got to know how to do hair, right? If you cut grass, you got to know how to cut grass, right? That's the technical skill set, but there's also another skill set, and it's called business acumen. You got to know how to play ball on the business or administrative side, okay? So how did I build it? I have mastered the fundamentals of business acumen or business finances, okay? Pastor White told y'all we're going to play ball. Well, the best ball player to ever play the game of basketball is who? Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan. For some of you whippersnappers that think otherwise, let me tell y'all why he was the best. It wasn't just because he was the most athletic, but Michael Jordan is arguably the most fundamental player to ever play the game. His fundamentals were impeccable. And fundamentals are just the foundation, the core, the basics, the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s. And based off of that, do you then go and do all the fancy stuff? But you got to master the fundamentals. And so that's how I went from insurance to trucking. I didn't know anything about trucking, but I knew everything about business. And here's what you got to know about business. Is that it's the same, business acumen is the same across any business. So who in here does hair? Tika. I can come and run your hair shop. I couldn't do hair, but I could run your hair shop. You with me? Who in here does baking or cooking? Yeah, the cooking. I can come run your restaurant. I couldn't, well, I don't know. I could, as my family, I might could cook in there too now. I got a couple of dishes to add to it. But I also could run the back shop and make money doing it because I've mastered the fundamentals of business. You have a handout. We're going to go to the second page, and we're going to work backwards, okay? So my goal, I want to talk to you all about the fundamentals or the basics of finances, okay? First, you got to know the goal. The goal as a CEO, your goal is profitability. Fundamental as a CEO, you got a lot of things you got to worry about, right? But you can never forget the fundamental, foundational thing of what you're there to do. You're there to make that business profitable, okay? Yes. Now, how you make it profitable, that's what we're talking about. But when you walk in, you got to know, my goal is to make it profitable. How you make it profitable are these 4 C's, okay? These 4 C's. Competencies. Competencies are just skill sets. That's your ball. That's your banker, your accountant, your lawyer, and your leaders. Those are the skill sets you got to have access to. Now, none of us can hire a full-time lawyer, hire a full-time, but we have to have access to our banker. We got to have access to a lawyer. We have to have access to you got to have access to accountant to have competencies on your side. Okay. Next, culture. Culture. Elder Riquet is going to come up and show you how to build a fit culture, one that's attractive to talent. You got to build a culture that's attracted to talent, okay? We're a small business. How do you get, when I was smaller, I have 2 UPS managers that left UPS, which is this huge company, took less money to come work with me. How? Because I'm building a culture that's attracted to them. You want me to tell you why they left? Because both of them wanted to have kids. And they said, man, we don't have a life here. We can't have kids. I said, well, guess what? I can give you a life. Come on over here and have kids with us. Both of them came with no kids. Both of them have kids. And they have jobs, and they have families, and they have careers, and we have a culture that they left a bigger company to come to my culture because I built one fit to attract people to it. So you got to have culture. And then the next 2 C's you got to have is you got to have controls. We'll talk about that, and you got to have and understand cash flow. All right? So that's what I come to tell you about, controls and cash flow. Y'all with me? All right. So the strategy to be profitable is you have to control cash. The strategy to be profitable is you have to control your cash. I mean, you got to have less going out and more coming in. And you have to do it in that order. Many of us, we think that if we throw some money at it, it'll come. I'm thinking about a restaurant, so let me go get a building, and then if I get a building, and all of a sudden they'll pack this thing out. Not sure they will. So what you have to do is figure out how can you get into food and just begin to sell your product before you go get that big building expense. Because you got to control cash, okay? You got to make sure that less is going out and more is coming in, and what's most important is you control what's going out, okay? Kaizen in the Lean Six Sigma. Anybody's done Lean Six Sigma? The sensei or the master of Six Sigma is Kaizen, and one of his principles are: do not substitute creativity. Do not substitute capital for creativity. Okay? Most people, when they get money, they stop thinking and they just start thinking if they throw money at it, it's going to solve the problem, or it's going to build something. And no. You always put creativity before capital. All right? Everybody wants a business. Everybody wants their name on the wall. Everybody want to be like, yeah, I got this nice building. I got these 50 employees. I got this. Everybody want to do that. But yes, at the end of the day, as a CEO, if you tell me you got no building, no employees, no nothing, but you are profitable, you're a good CEO. Y'all with me? All right. So 3 tactics to execute the strategy of being profitable. 3 tactics to execute the strategy of being profitable. First, and these are must-haves, you must have controls in place to feed your data on the performance of your company. A control is something that produces data to you, okay? And the 3 parts of a control is you have to have your platform. Platform would be your QuickBooks. If you're starting, you need to start with a financial reporting system. QuickBooks. Many of you that's in different, whether it be cosmetology or other things, you may have an industry-specific management system. In transportation, I have a transportation management system that's outside of QuickBooks, but it keeps all my data. Every load we run, every dollar we make, every expense we have, it keeps all the data. And that data comes to me in reports, and we call those controls. If you're flying or navigating anything, how do you fly an airplane? Does anybody know how you fly an airplane? Yes, she said prayerfully, but with controls. I don't know if y'all know, but your air pilot, she is not looking out the window and be like, no, turn a little bit. They're not looking out the window actually navigating the skies. All right? They're straight on the controls. And they can know if we're headed in the right direction based upon the data coming off the controls. We're going too fast, we're going too slow, based off of the data and controls. That's how you navigate based off your controls. Okay? And this ain't I gotta grow big enough to get some controls. I gotta grow big enough to get some platform. These are the fundamentals. You can't play this game without being fundamentally sound. Y'all see it? All right. You have to have a process in place to capture accurate data. People think that they have QuickBooks and somehow QuickBooks is going to do magic. It's not. QuickBooks is only as good as the data you put into it. Your control system is only as good as the information you put into it. You have to have a system of putting your data into your platform so that your platform can organize it and give you a report that you then can make decisions off of. Okay? And then a plan for profit, a profit plan. when you finally make some money, you got to have a plan for that money, because if you don't have a plan for that money, somebody else does. And money is called currency for a reason. What does a current do? It flows. It's called currency. It's not going to stay with you just because you make $1. It's not just going to be like, oh, man, I just want to hang out with you. No, money's going to be like, hey, how you doing? I'm getting ready to go somewhere else. And unless you have a plan for where it goes, it's going to go somewhere you never wanted it to go. 10. You with me? All right, so you got to have a plan. Real quick about controls. Last year was the toughest year we've ever had in business. And I have a CFO that has revolutionized my company because he has all these controls in place. And the data that I was getting allowed me to make decisions and become surgical to deal with the problems we were faced. If you don't have data, you can't be surgical. You just do a shotgun approach. You just start cutting stuff. You just start doing stuff. You just start panicking. But when you have controls, when you have a platform, and then you have a process to put the data into the platform, even if it's just you. If you go and you do hair, Tika, and you spend something on some perms and this, that, and the other, go enter them receipts into your platform. And then off of that, you will be able to make decisions. I was able to make some serious decisions that actually saved my company. Let me give you one to let you know how this is. I gave back a $2.5 million contract. 2.5, who would like a $2.5 million contract in here? Yeah. Them problems we like to have. Actually, they not. Because I didn't know that one of my largest contracts, because of what happened in the transportation market, seemed like overnight we went from profitable to we were losing money. So every time we carried their load, we were losing money. And I wouldn't have known that unless I had controls. And those controls allowed me to have a hard conversation with them. And as bad as I want to have this big gaudy number that you all are impressed with, I'm doing X amount of millions in sales. What's my job? Is my job to make a lot, is to create a lot of revenue? Is my job to be profitable? As a CEO, my fundamental job is to be profitable. So you know what I did? Is I told them, it's been good working with you, but we can no longer do this at a loss. So I gave them back the contract, and now my company is making less money overall, but more profit. Am I a good CEO? Yeah, baby. That's because I've mastered the fundamentals. Y'all with me? And you can too. The second thing, strategy, is you must have controls, but you also must have a cash flow plan. A cash flow plan. And so the cash flow plan at least has to consist of this: a personal and a professional budget. A personal and most of us are startups, and this is the reason why most of us struggle in our businesses, because we start and we need that business to feed us before we feed it. And when you start a business, that business is a baby. And y'all tell me what baby had, Quan, you got a baby, you expecting her to bring a check home tomorrow? Quan said it'd be nice. Oh yeah, they got them TikToking now. Get your baby on TikTok. That baby really might bring some money in. Listen. It's before TikTok, no one expected that baby to bring in money straight when they, you got to feed this baby for a while, and then if we lucky, they'll go to the NBA and they'll start feeding us. The same thing with your business. You have to feed it for a while, and then it will feed you. And so that's why I commend all you all that are working a full-time job while you're trying to build your business. I commend you. I commend you because what you're doing is it can't feed me yet, but if I keep hustling, paying my bills with my job, I'm going to eventually have a business that can feed me, and I can go full time. So you got to have a personal and professional budget. It's so critical. You also have to fix your owner's pay. Real quick. Owners, your pay can't be whatever's left over. Because some days you're going to have good weeks, some days you're going to have bad weeks, okay? But what we do is, if we have a good week, we show enough getting ready to show out. If we have a bad week, we're going to struggle. What you have to do is figure out what's the minimum. Everybody say minimum. The minimum you can make as an owner to feed your lifestyle, because everything has to go to the business until it grows up. Y'all with me? And when you have your best month ever, that's not the time to change your pay. You still take the same thing, and that money builds up in the business account. Because that's what you're going to leverage to ultimately grow your business. And then last, a line of credit. That's why you need a banker. And a line of credit is simply because cash flow, you can be profitable and be cash negative because it takes cash to grow. It takes cash to grow. When you do a job, you got to pay your employees, you got to pay for your materials, and then you have to wait for your money to come in, right? And so you made money on the job on paper, but you have to wait for the money to come in. And so therefore you paid bills without any money, and that's why a line of credit helps you float that. The only reason you use a line of credit is to float money that you're waiting to come in, okay? When the money come in, what do you do with the money? You put it back on your line of credit, okay? You don't go upgrade cars. You don't go take a nice vacation because you got access to a line of credit. You don't. You just simply there because ultimately this is what's going to help you float your business, cash flow your business until your business is able to just continue to produce 5 minutes. I'm good. Oh, man, I'm making good time. All right, line of credit, cash flow plan, and then last, you must have a collection plan. Make sure there's 2 phases to making money. That's first, you got to generate the revenue, and then the second, you got to get it into your account. Okay? You got to have a collection plan, 30 days or less. 30 days or less, that money needs to be in your account. The quicker you get it in, the better you are at cash flow. Okay? And the more solid your business is going to be. Y'all follow me? What's your goal as a CEO? To be profitable. The 3 ways we're going to be profitable is we must have what? Controls. And the collection plan. Flip the first page. Here are some definitions. I'm going to let you all do the calculations at home, okay? But here are some things that you need to know about. First of all, we put the definition about business and entrepreneur. Again, business is both personal and professional, okay? Business is more a philosophy than it is a place. You don't get a business just because your business is how you do your personal life. Your first company is Johnson Incorporated. Before you ever get Stitches or whatever your name of your business is, bougie snacks. Before you ever get the bougie snacks, it's just Terry Incorporated. If you can't run your personal budget at a profit, the chances are that you would run a business at a profit is very small. I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'm just telling you, it is very small if you can't run your personal lifestyle at a profit first. Your first business, you run at a profit, you exercise there, and then you take that skill set, and then you run a profitable business. Profit is income minus expenses. Have y'all ever heard the term EBITDA? EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. That's what your profit is. If you have a positive EBITDA, you have positive profit. Now after that, you still got to pay like loans and that type stuff, and you may actually be cash flow negative, but that's what you're going to be taxable profit off your EBITDA. Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and that's just simply income minus expenses. The 2 expenses you got to focus on is fixed expenses. Fixed expenses are things like administration pay, loans, equipment, rent, subscription. Fixed expenses are things that are not going to change based upon your production. It don't matter if you produce anything or not. You got to pay your secretary. It don't matter if you produce anything or not. If you go out and get that big building, you got to pay that big building, right? Those are fixed expenses. Variable expenses would be the things that change based upon production. So, Tika, if you do 5 perms, you got to buy 5 perm kits, right? So those would vary based upon how many you produce. This is what you got to understand. You have to limit and keep your fixed and your variable expense. Well, definitely your fixed expenses down. Your variable expenses are going to change regardless. Ain't much you're going to be able to do about your variable expenses because actually your variable expenses going up, it should be good. As long as your variable expenses, how much you put into your perm kits, how many perm kits you have in the place, how much fertilizer you having to buy because you're doing yards. If that's going up, that's a good thing because if that's going up, what should be going up with that? Yes, your revenue should be going up with that. And as long as your revenue is going up with your variable expenses, you want them to go up. Your fixed expenses, the things, like I said, buildings, how many people are on salary, those things you want to control and keep them down. If you keep your fixed expenses down, Manage your variable expenses, just get the best cost, let them go up with your revenue, minus out, you can make a profit. The only way you're gonna know if you're making a profit if you have controls in place, if you have a cash flow plan, and if you're collecting that money. You do that, and you're gonna master the fundamentals of business, and you can run any business in here as long as you hook up with the right technician. All right? All right. Elder Ricketts gonna come up. Now that Pastor White's told us how to ball. Oh, I'm gonna get it back. See, now that Pastor White told us how to ball, I told us that you gotta have the good fundamentals in order to play any game well. We're gonna learn how to get fit so we can track the right talent with us. All right?
Come on, y'all. Y'all put your hands together. No, I mean, it's good stuff. Did y'all catch that? Y'all got it wrote down? Y'all got your paper with you? All right, y'all feeling good? I mean, it's great stuff, and I mean, this information, again, it's a wealth of it, and don't let it overwhelm you. You take it and you make it bite-sized, right? So now you're gaining the information. Now, how do you take some of that information? Now, how do you start applying some of that information? You know, I have it now. How do I apply it to my right now, where I'm currently at in my business, in my practice, whatever you're doing? How do you start applying some of those things now to making some changes, some shifts that you can make some adjustments right now with the information you have? And then from there, you keep making more and more and more. Y'all got it? Oh, man, this is good stuff. Do me a favor real quick. Look up under your seat. Grab up under your seat. Some of y'all you're going to have a little sticky thing up under your seat. One of y'all. A couple of y'all. Rub around it's on the seat part. It's a little piece of paper. It's sticking to it. Not gum. I hope ain't no gum under there. Somebody got one? Okay, we got one right here. All right. Okay. Now, one thing about business, and I know somebody else got one. They don't know what's going to happen yet, though. So let me see what this is. What's important is, you know, as business owners, we have to stay ready, right? We never know when an opportunities are gonna come. I used to always say, we call it the elevator pitch. I'm not gonna actually do that, but we used to always say, you know, if I had 6 floors to go up and I was on the elevator with a billionaire or with someone I know that want to invest, could I pitch and sell them before I get to the 6th floor? And that's how I feel like you should always have your business and who you are, what you do, what you offer, why you're important, why you're valuable in your back pocket if you're just going to the 6th floor. But I just wanted to highlight you. Could you come up for 1 second, if you don't mind? Y'all give her a hand as she comes up. Give her a hand. Just want to take a moment to highlight you. Just want to randomize it. Tell us who you are, what you do, or plan on doing. You can come this way just a little bit. I know it's on the spot. You didn't expect it, but you have a moment. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Micah Stams. I'm a full-time fitness trainer, and I'm trying to start up a commercial cleaning company.
Oh, man. All right. Tell us just briefly, you said you're trying to start that up. Are there any challenges that you may have, and have you learned anything from here today?
I'm learning a lot. The challenges I'm facing right now, I'm 24, working 2 jobs, full-time trainer, like I said, and I nanny. I'm just learning a lot about finances because I don't know a lot about them. So, yeah.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much. We'll do a couple more of those, and we have something for you as well. Here you go. Just on your journey. I want to make sure we give you thank you for coming up and sharing that with us on the spot like that. We sure appreciate you. And, man, this is what it's about. So this is the relationships we're growing. And now we're talking about we talked about business 101, just really what are the things we need to get this journey started in our finances. And now we talk about culture. I think we can holistically sort of wrap this all into culture. And this next speaker that I'm going to present to you, her charisma is the culture. I mean, it truly is. I mean, any room she in, it absolutely lights up. So when you talk about talent acquisition, you're talking about putting yourself in a position that other people want to be around you, maneuver around you. I was one of those people who I worked and Carlo just said it, and had to figure out my entrepreneurship while I was at work, and then work didn't make sense anymore because of what was happening in the business. And I know the power of it. And I think the corporate experience piece is so important. Take advantage of your corporate opportunities to leverage your next. I present to you the VP of HR and DEI of Milliken & Company, Miss Rakay Harris. Y'all put your hands together.
All right. What's going on, y'all? Make some noise. All right. Clock has started. We got 20 minutes. So I am not an entrepreneur. Woo! All right. I pray for y'all daily. But like Siege said, I have been with Milliken. Last month, I celebrated 19 years, right? And last year, you know, the company, we've been around almost 160 years. But last year, I became Milliken's first black female vice president. No doubt, no doubt. Right. Me and Kamala together, you know what I'm saying? So although I may not fully understand what it takes to start a business, own a business, run a business, I feel like for the last 19 years, I have used people or utilized people to help support a business. And so today I feel like I might drop a few nuggets on what it took for me to stay there for 19 years and what you all can think about as being employers. Good employees. I've attracted talent for at least the past decade. So as I think about what it takes to make a good employee, maybe that translates to you being a good employer. Clap your hands if that makes sense. All right. So we are going to talk about getting in shape because y'all about to be put to work. If you ain't already, you're going to be put to work. So get ready to sweat. Next slide for me, please, if you will. All right, so stand still. So that's me. That's my first grade picture right there. And look at her. And so, you know, I, a few years after first grade, but one of my Christmas lists, we just take a catalog, circle some pictures, and maybe you get what you asked for. Depending on what the money was like, then you can possibly get it. And so one Christmas, I was like, I want this little Miss Executive set. Briefcase, phone, pen, paper. Lo and behold, I got it. And for whatever reason, I was like, no, this is me. I'm young, but I envision myself to be walking around with a cell phone, pen, pad, paper, handling business. 30 plus years later, handling business from a vision as a little girl, right? But I stand here today letting you know that it took work, right? 30 plus years, it took work. And I want you all to be encouraged to know it will not come overnight. Let me go ahead and prophesy that to you right now. It will not come overnight. But though it tarry, wait for it. So as I think about getting in shape, the next slide, please. This kind of is a formula, if you will, for what I would say helps us get in shape. If you think about the success, what it's going to take, you're going to have to prepare, right? You're going to have to get ready, get out there, pursue. That's what we do here. We are pursuing a more excellent way. You're going to persevere. Going to be some obstacles, some hurdles. Take all that times a little bit of hope because you're going to have to believe in some brighter days. All of that should equal your success. So along that journey, that formula, we're talking about hashtag let's get in shape, okay? LeBron James is in shape. He's way more in shape than Michael Jordan ever was. So I just want to throw that out there. Way more in shape. Give me that. So we're going to get in shape. And so, and acrostic right now, what's my next slide? Okay, that's 1 Chronicles 4:10. You probably can't see it, but I'm gonna just say it what it is. We've all probably prayed some type of prayer like this before, the prayer of Jabez, right? Y'all know what it says. He cried to the God of Israel, saying, oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my border, and that your hand might be with me, and that you would keep me from evil so it might not hurt me. And God granted his request. Raise your hand if you ever talked to God and said, you know what, I want more. I'm trying to do something. I need more, right? We've asked him to expand our territory, our border. And guess what? We're asking for more, so you're going to have to go to work. We sitting around sometimes, maybe, not everybody in this room, but we'll pray and cry out, God, I need you to do so-and-so. I'm waiting on blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? If we're asking him to expand the border, our territory, we're going to have to prepare for it. So you got to get in shape, do some work now. Because when it comes, you want to be in a position to receive it, right? So as I've thought about, what attracted me to Milliken or just careers or people in general with the shape acrostic, the first thing I think you all need to recognize is you have to see it. So we get in shape, S-H-A-P-E. First one, write it down, get your cell phone or whatever, but you got to get in shape. So let's talk about the 5 ways you get in shape. First thing you got to do Next slide, please. You got to see it. Right? I mean, if you don't know where you want to go, I guarantee you ain't nobody on your team want to be on your team. If you can't articulate the vision, the dream, the purpose for which you exist today in business, I guarantee you it's going to be hard to attract people to join the team. Hello, somebody. So you got to see it. We can go to the next scripture, but you don't have to. But Psalm 27:13-14, I would have fainted unless I believed that I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Unless you believe that you would see it happen, you won't. My pastor back home, Wendell Brown at Refreshing Springs Church of God in Christ, he would say, you got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Right? That's a snappable moment right there. You got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. You're like, what? You got to see Little Miss Executive before you see it, or she would have never saw it. Right? Y'all understand? So if you can't articulate the business plan, or if you don't have the vision, struggling with it, what do you think your employees are probably going to do? Like, what's the morale like on the team? Right? Low, right? So for 19 years, it was just kind of like, well, I think I believe in where this company is headed. I like the direction. I like the leadership. I like kind of the vision that they've laid out for us, and I'm attracted to that. So I'm going to continue to stay here. Have you ever seen Cool Runnings? Y'all familiar with that? Bet. So, Quano? Yes. So it was a movie that came out in 1993 about the Jamaican bobsled team. Cool Runnings. Every once in a while, I get into underdog mode, and I just bust it out and watch it. But one of my favorite scenes is, the team that were struggling. I mean, the guy started out being an Olympian, or he tried to, and he didn't make it. So that's how he started the team. Gets the team, and they're like, we don't know anything about being a bobsled team. How does this work? They got a coach. But long story short, the coach was like, well, how do you see yourself? So he grabs this one guy. He gets him and looks in the mirror and says, tell me what you see in him. I see pride. I see power. I see a bad joker who won't take crap from nobody. And that just blessed me all the time. But he got in the mirror every single day before a competition and would remind himself of who he was, what he saw, so that he could eventually live it out. All right? So I ain't saying you got to get in the mirror and preach to yourself every day, but you're going to have to encourage yourself. If you can't get it from nobody else, hopefully you can encourage yourself, right? And the prayer said, God, that you would help me. So expand my border, enlarge my territory, but that your hands got to be with me. I can't fulfill or pursue a God-sized vision without God. All right? So we got to see it. We got to see what he's given us, okay? And one of my favorite quotes that I used to live by, it's a bookmark that I received, but Eleanor Roosevelt, the future belongs to those who believe in the reality of their dreams. All right? So you got to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. Shape, okay? What's the first thing you got to do? See it. Second thing you do, you got to have heart. Okay? You are the heartbeat of your organization. So what's the pulse? What's the vibe you're giving off? Right? What's the aroma? What's the scent? What's the decor? You set the tone, right? So it's going to take heart. As the heart goes, so goes the body. And so if you ain't with it, we ain't with it either. You know what I'm saying? You look confused why you're not profitable. Is your heart in it? So as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he in behavior. Right? Showing up late, reputation in the community is trash. The list goes on. Right? Bet. So if the heart stops, so does the business. And we can tell when you're not in it. Right? We feed off of it. If you don't feel like being here, you know I could be at home. Like, we just cancel the day. Why we here? You ain't want to come in, bet. I didn't either. Say less. Right? So heart sets the tone. So yeah, going back to having a passion, having a purpose, etc. Right? So think about not letting the dream die. Right? I had a scripture earlier. I'm trying to stay on time here, but write the vision and make it plain. As you're seeing it, it should be able to resonate with others on your team. Now, as you're trying to communicate that and they don't understand, it might be a problem. You think you see it, but the teammates might be a little bit confused. Okay? Y'all all right so far? So I'm talking about heart. And along the way, the A, we're going to keep on moving. Adaptability. You're going to have to be agile. You're going to have to adjust. Stuff has changed. The company is not the same company it was, heck, even 5 years ago, right? Definitely not the same company it was in 1865, thank God, right? Or I wouldn't be there, right? We've had to evolve. We've had to adapt. We've had to change. They was old. Out with the old. So I'm talking about being flexible and being able to pivot because your plans change. Let me see the next slide, please. So my second dream, it was a close second, was to be in the WNBA. The dream is dead. It's died. But that was a dream. That was a dream. Now, I held on to it as long as Dr. King allowed me to. But it's gone-ish. But I still might have it. But my junior year of high school, the 7th game, I tore my ACL. And that year is your most critical year if you're trying to play at the collegiate level. I knew college had to be free for me. We did not have the funds, the means. Get the ball, do something with it. Right? That's what Elder calls. Get the ball, do something with it. So that was the plan. I mean, I'd be in the park, play with the dudes all day, every day. Started a team in the 3rd grade in elementary school and AAU basketball, da-da-da-da. But in high school, junior year, 7th game, I go down. I mean, in the most humble way I can say, I was killing. I mean, girl, ask Rice. Ask Mayor Rice this time you see him. Man, I was on fire. And I was like, God, what did you just do? You know the vision. You know the plan we set. You know the discussion we had. I'm going to college to play ball for free. This does not help me. So I had to figure this out. But goes back to my vision. I saw and knew I needed to play the collegiate level. I had the heart that said, you know what? Once I recover, right? It did a whole news story for me in the paper and everything. But it was like, Raquel's return. She coming back? Well, I don't have a choice. I know what the end game is. If I quit playing ball, I never make it. Heart says you got to get back in the game. Have the surgery, recover, etc. Get back on the court, right? Pushed it out, probably came back way early before surgery. I mean, after surgery, pushed myself, signed before I even played a game my senior year. They believed in their recovery. They didn't even see my first game my senior year. Bless God for that, right? That was amazing. And so you have to and so even from there, I didn't go to the WNBA after high school. We can't do that. They gender bias against females. But so I went to college and got to college, went to Wofford, and our team struggled a little bit. But I was MVP for the majority of the time I was there. So I tried to hold it down. But then after my junior year, I was like, I don't think I want to play at the NBA level, go to the WNBA anymore. I really don't want to. But my plan AA is executive. So let's walk across the stage, get this degree, all right? But small pivot, but then also had the opportunity after I graduated, I did play a couple years semi-pro ball. Okay, so, a little different, but it worked out. And now if anybody want to challenge me, 3rd, if you're watching, they get beat, okay? So adaptability is key, all right? So we getting in shape. What's the S? All right, what's the H? What's the A? Bet. P, you got to persevere. Why am I not an entrepreneur? I don't want to die. JK, y'all ain't going to die. But I don't want to work as hard as y'all do. But y'all going to have to persevere. It's hard work. It should be I may not be cut out for it, so I'm going to go every day. But somebody got to pay y'all, okay? Somebody got to go to work to pay y'all businesses, okay? Y'all want me to be a client or not? So Galatians 6:9, we've all heard this. Let us not grow weary or become discouraged in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap if we do not give in. # don't faint, right? We reap when we don't faint, which means if you have the ability to faint, it's going to be hard. We don't faint because it's easy. We don't almost pass out because it's like level A. No, this is senior level type stuff. We're struggling. Now, if you haven't reached a tough spot, or if you're just skating through like nothing's going on, you might need to ask some questions. Business might not be good, okay? So I ain't trying to say, you got to go under to come out, but you do need to expect that you're going to have some trials. You do need to understand it's not always going to be easy. I just want to go ahead and put that out there and prophesy that right now. I ain't saying bad business. I'm saying just get ready to work, okay? So that's why I'm going into Milliken tomorrow morning. Because y'all be working. I'm not doing that, okay? Let me see what else I got. Oh, one of my, yes, thank you for this. James Baldwin. Love that guy. Y'all know who he is. All right. The price one pays for pursuing any profession or calling is an intimate knowledge of its ugly side. Y'all know that song. Y'all shouldn't. Come on, they don't know it. It's going to get, y'all heard it? My man said he know. It's going to get ugly. Brandon know it's going to get ugly. But when you are prepared for it, when you are expected to possibly pivot or adjust and adapt, we good. I'm surprised it's here, but I'm not surprised because I expected it. So I'm walking through this with the ability to persevere, right? So I like working for companies that have had to pivot, had to adjust. We still here, the only textile manufacturer in the U.S. with 0 competitors. Still here today. Now, I don't know how much longer we're going to keep doing it, but we're here today, all right? The last one, E, expand your network, right? I think in this room, hopefully you have made connections tonight. You got your banker, your accountant, your lawyer, your leader, right? You got your technician, your business partner, right? Who in this room is maybe doing what you're going to do? Do y'all know the same people? Who's your competition? You need to know what they're doing. Anybody that they have connections with, you need those connections as well, right? Again, 19 years is a long time, but from the janitor to the CEO, I fist bump everybody. And I know them by name and they know me by name. I walk the halls right now. If Gail or Natalie was in here, they'd be like, we hate walking with you to lunch, to the hallway, to anywhere, because we're going to get stopped a million times. It is what it is. And even here in Spartanburg, sometimes I will leave, like no joke, one time I went to Tennessee, trying to hide, sitting down eating. Reggae! Dang! Dang! I did not come here to see you. I came to get away. I don't know you this weekend. Leave me alone. Right? But that's the beauty of it. Expanding your network, you're going to have those relationships, those strategic alliances, right? You need to know who your support circle is, right? Dr. Nika White, she was definitely the mentor, the advisor before I even got into this DEI space, right? Had to follow her, had to shadow her, had to have conversations with her. She was doing the work. I would benefit tremendously to talk to her, to have a conversation. And look how it turned out. Nod to Dr. Nika White. What's up? So who's in this room that you need to be connected with, right? Who's going to help you take it to the next level? Who's going to help you power up, right? It's all about connection. So again, I don't know how much time I got, but get in shape. You got to see it. You got to have some heart. Be prepared to adapt, persevere, and expand your network. That's all I got.
Come on, y'all. Put your hands together for Raquel Harris. I told you, the electricity that she moves with, man, is absolutely amazing every single time. Y'all okay? This good? Yeah. We're going into our final little section here, our final section, and we're gonna get you guys out of here. I want to do a check-in. I want to make sure y'all got your paperwork. Y'all got everything you need. Y'all taking the notes. Are y'all prepared for your questions? Y'all prepared for your questions? Are y'all ready? Because we're gonna get to that in just a minute. Okay. I want to show you this real fast as we transition. This is important, right? Again, I understand the power of networking and attaching myself to people and growing relationships with people in order to get to my next. Y'all agree with that? I'm working in the school systems, and I remember I left a finance company I was managing and took a 40% decrease in pay. And I remember I called my pastor and said, man, I feel like I'm led to do this, but it doesn't make sense for my home, though. you know. And I remember saying, well, we'll figure out how to make up the difference. You know, if you led to do it, we'll figure it out. And I remember starting a business with I didn't know anything about construction. I didn't know anything about real estate. I said, and then something called COVID happened. I think y'all might know about it. And when that happened, you know, I'm working at the school systems and we couldn't go to work. So what I did, I utilized that time to learn how to go to school. I picked up the phone and called that man and say, you think I can do this? Ship it? Yeah, I believe you can do it. These connections, these networks, these people said, man, I'll help you through it. If I can do it, you can do it. You know, and I know that, and after all of doing that, starting our business, now my wife now works for the company full time and having a first year, going into a 6-figure business in our first year of business and from year one. And I know that it's because of the people that I'm connected with that created the opportunities that I have. And I know that's why. And here's what I want to show you. Watch this. Next slide. This is the secret sauce. I don't know what that was, but this is secret sauce. Watch this. Because what I didn't have, when I sat in that school system and I went to the schools, I said, hey, I'll do this. I'll take this job. I do feel like I'm led to do it. But here's what I ask. Can I have time? Like they said, we'll make sure you're flexible. Make sure you do what you're supposed to do here. Be a good employee with our culture, and we won't bother you. You can have flexibility with your time. So I traded time, you know, or pay for time and opportunity to grow something. And in doing that, I was able to start the business in my side time. Watch this. I didn't cheat them because I was my first year at the school system. I was a support staff for the year for the district. So I didn't shortcut them in my work, right? And in doing that, here's the reason I'm saying all this for a reason. I had to sit in that office for a lot of time, figure it out myself, and now the getting is as better as it ever has because you don't have to do those same things. Watch this. Go to the next slide. Right here, there's something called, I'm going to go back here because I don't know how well y'all can see that. There's something called the grid. Okay, I'm going to give you a QR code in a minute. Get your phone ready. You're going to go to this grid. Watch this. All right. This is powered by Duke Energy. It's part of the Power Up program, but you have access to it. Think of it like a Facebook for businesses. You can go talk on it, network on it. Watch this. How to start a business. You click on it. Look, step 1, conduct research. Determine a business model. You click on it, and it literally gives you links and the resources to actually do those things that it's telling you to do. How do I find it? All right, then you can't unlock the next one until you finish that. Conduct consumer research, tells you how to do it. Evaluate your market, tells you how to do it. Step 2, build your business plan, determine the problem, create the solution. It literally takes you through it and actually gives you the resources and links and agencies to get it achieved. Next slide. Okay, now I'm not starting a business. How do I grow a business? Oh, growing your team, type of workers, finding talent, paying benefits, human resources. And all of this is at your fingertips. Because I sat inside of that school for 3 years and Googled, figured it out, did step 1, step 2, and had to do it like that. And now it's at your fingertips. It is at your fingertips. You can do it in your spare time. Create the plan that you need to be great and excellent. Yes, ma'am. No, I didn't create it. Thank you, though. You know what I mean? I didn't create it. This is part of Power Up. Power Up team created it, and it's sponsored by Duke Energy. So watch this. Next slide. Boom. Oh, I like them phones. Let me get out of the way. I like it. You go to that. You scan that. You go to it and sign up for it, and then you start networking. And it lets you break it down by what area you're in, what area is your business in. I mean, it is an excellent tool. You can literally create and start your business. I know we have these great conversations and we don't feel like we left with anything. Not only are you leaving with all this information you have, you're leaving with your next steps. That's what it's about. Take advantage of it. You think you can't start it up while you're learning the skills that I learned, the skill set that I learned to be great in my and be a great CEO. As Carlos said, guess where I learned those skills from? Being a great employee. Man, I ran them people place like it was mine. And they love me for it. That's why they love Raquel. Trust me, if she wanted to do this, she could do it easily. Because the coach is already in there. Take advantage of the right now. We are on absolute perfect timing. In our final 20 minutes, y'all got that? Uh-oh. Go to the next slide, please. Thank you, brother. Hey, man, tell us, I'll tell them. Jeffrey Shipper here, y'all know Bell Realty Group. Man, they do, I'm talking about buying, selling, flipping, anything you need in the real estate industry. Then he serves like he always does. That's my man right there. So at this time, I'm going to ask all of our panelists to come back up for our final 20 minutes. If you all could come back to the seats here. You got us in the back. We have our 20. Y'all give them a hand as they come back up. Y'all get a mayor a hand. I knew somebody was going to catch it. We have 20 minutes remaining here. All right. And what we would like to do is, I promise that we first want to hear your questions. So what are your questions? We're going to try to keep them brief. We're going to try to keep them under just about a minute and a half because we want to get through as many as we can. We're gonna do this like this. Once we get a question, we're gonna do like y'all the media. I'll call on someone out there. If a panelist, I'll call on one of you to answer that, or if you feel that, hey, that's for me. And would you please repeat the question so our people at home can know what the question was? All right, we got one over here, sir. Yes, sir.
How long did it take? So I've ran several businesses. WH Trucking, I think it took right at a little over 2.5 years before we became profitable.
Patience. It takes time. That's that perseverance piece. Sir? Great question. Is Power Up only for Spartanburg residents or does it reach outside? Yes, it is for only citizens of Spartanburg County. So that city and county, it is only, or if you plan to relocate to the city or county. And there are a lot of resources, not only the funding, there are technical assistance. Pastor White talked about lawyers and things you need. Well, guess what? You can tap in, get mentors that you can link with, as well as you can get free or they will pay for you to go do consultations with those type of assistance that you need. They're called technical assistance. All that is part of it. PowerUpSpartanburg.com. Great question. Thank you for asking.
Can I add to that? And if you have a business that's in the county. So even if you don't live in the county, but your business is in the county, you can do it. How do I know? Because I received the Power Up grant or funding or whatever, and my business is located in Spartanburg.
That's right. Thank you. Sir in the back. Yes, sir. His question is in regards to marketing and how important that is with businesses. If anyone wants to jump in, please do. But I would say, I mean, it is important. Obviously, you know, social media is a big part of the world. It's a big part of who we are right now. But I'll tell you, though, all right, first off, it's something that you have to treat the same way as Carlo mentioned, like an accountant. That's something that, yeah, you can start it on your own, maybe with your QuickBooks, but at the end of the day, that's something that you're gonna have to build in to your business, right? And it's something that is it almost becomes a fixed income. It's something that are fixed. You need it. I would suggest this. One of the first things that I would save up for when it comes to social media, because listen, if that's not what you do, it is gonna be very, very difficult for you to be consistent at it. And I think we all understand that and know that. You have to first budget in a way to third party that out to someone else. Someone that can do that. You can gauge it, get your KPIs, which are key point indicators, and see if it's working, how it works, when it works, where it works, and should I keep putting money towards it. I just strongly encourage you to do that. You can start off some things, but the way in which you present yourself is going to be vital because as Raquel was saying, you know, the business is you. So that would be my advice to that. But yes, it's important because it drives clients. But the more important factor is how you utilize it and how it affects your business, because it does not affect every industry the same. And you can be successful without that social media attached to it. I know several businesses that are, but their clientele and who they tie that money to and those is very strong in order to bring in clients. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What's my biggest challenge, reward, how'd I get to the role that I'm in today, or what's my role before the role that I'm in today? I mean, essentially, I've been in HR pretty much my entire Milliken career. So prior to being the VP of corporate of HR and DEI, I was DEI and talent acquisition. So I pretty much touched every function because I had to recruit for all of their business needs. So that's how I became, connected with each of the business leaders, hiring managers, and so now I basically support them all from an HR business partner perspective. So I think it goes back to having those relationships. People knew my name. As the job was open, it was kind of more of a tap me on the shoulder as opposed to we need to take you through this interview process. My biggest challenge is I'm the only one. So that's walking into meetings and boardrooms and meeting with the other executives and not giving into the imposter syndrome that can sneak up and creep in pretty much every single day. But walking in the confidence, essentially the role that I am in today, it was essentially a promotion for what I was already doing. So you walk in the confidence. When you don't get the title and then start going being the VP. Right. You know what I'm saying? You walk in the calling and the role, then comes the outward promotion with an official title, if that makes sense. So continue to be who you are, walk in the confidence you have in every room. And then the big I don't know, just the development that I've helped people achieve throughout their career. They will stop me anytime they see me in the hallway and essentially thank me or have questions. But I appreciate the fact that I'm able to see the impact that I have made in the 19 years that I've been there.
Nah, man, that's it. That's it. We're coming here, then I'm coming right to you, ma'am. Yes, sir. Start there, Pastor White. Oh, sorry.
The first question is, should the CEO, got to have a platform, but should the CEO also be the one that manage the process? And I would say probably not. Most CEOs, if you're visionary, you're flighty. And if you're not, I am. And so managing the day-to-day, I have great ideas, but if my company depend on me to actually do it every day, we'll struggle. So what it's about building a process. And for those of y'all where you're a single CEO, get your young daughter, get your young son, get them to where you set the receipts in this bin and they put them into the computer, into your QuickBooks, and now you start getting these reports that can help you do it. But enlist your family, enlist everybody you can to help you with a process. You just got to have a process, stick to it, but yes, you need someone else to probably do the day-to-day.
Yeah, I agree. That's all about the leaders. You don't have to be great at everything. Find people that are great at it, and buy yourself back some time. For anyone that's gotten into entrepreneurship for the purpose of consuming all your time, Jesus, I don't. That's not what I got in it for. I got in it to buy back time. And so finding people that do what I don't want to do and don't like to do is everything for me. And that's just about everything in my. That's just about everything around me. I need somebody that can do it. But one of the things about it, though, if you are CEO, you got to trust them and you got to let them make mistakes, and you got to do that, because no one wants to be given a task and then be micromanaged the whole time that they're doing the task. So that's vital. As far as the banker. Listen, it's about relationships. You don't get to walk into the bank and meet with a banker day one unless you got significant resource. Now, they will take you, but you got to build relationships. And most of the banking relationships that I have today have come just through being in community, interacting with them. They've heard my name, I've heard their name, etc. Or this is my biological brother. That's my biological sister, and we have relationships, and we share names with one another. And again, once a banking client has been referred to you by one of their clients, they're going to take your call or take your so again, that's why network is so important. Collaboration is so important. You can't do this by yourself in your silo.
That's it.
Can I add something to it? The one thing about banking is, I said it's both money starts, it's personal and professional. You just worry on building your personal profile, your credit, your cash flow where you can actually afford something outside of your monthly bills. Then you have a relationship. The truth of the matter is the way true banking works, at least on our level when he said local banker, if we take you to our banker, they're going to try to find a way to get it done for you. Like, you walking there by yourself, they're going to, but if you get a relationship with someone that the banker trusts, then they're going to bend over backwards and even make an exception for you, but you got to make sure that you're ready and you don't ruin that for you and that person.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to say that's why, honestly, you have to take this stuff serious because relationships can be made or broken based on the character of the person that is being referred. And so you gotta have that character. And if you don't, just know you probably won't sever the relationship with me and my banker, but you probably also won't be able to get back in that door again with me or my banker. And that's just being 100% honest. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hold on, sorry. One second. We come right here. We come right back to you in a second. I wanted to, as they were saying that, because I want to make sure I have the resources. Fiverr. It's called Fiverr. I mean, it's a lifesaver when it comes to resources. I had a person who was making all the phone calls, and I could pay $15 to make 75 phone calls with a professional voice. We'll go through the checklist, send me a report of everything that happened. Literally was hiring assistants and people, for $50 a week. And that's how I started. So that's a great source tool to utilize to back up what they're saying. Yes, ma'am, and then we're coming to you right after that, sir.
It was what we talked about in the MBA program. So I went through my sister-in-law here, Dr. Nika White. She was over Greenville's MBA program, Minority Business Accelerator program, and I was invited to go through it. And that day I had to make a decision. Am I willing to step away from my business to grow me? And if the answer is no, then it's going to remain a lifestyle business at that point. It wasn't just a hobby, it was a lifestyle business at that point. But if I was able to step away from it, that meant I had to trust my people, the controls and everything else that were in place. And then we could, because I'm out now, they could take on some ownership, they could make some mistakes, they could run with vision, and I could begin to grow to be the person I needed to be. So I think step one for me was stepping out of the business in order to work on the business and work on me, and that became the accelerator that I needed.
Wow, thank you. Yes, sir.
So that's good stuff. So that's why. Remember, I said that's why
First
you
of
work
all, how big
relationship.
was that deposit, my brother? Let's talk.
And for you people online, he's asking, making deposits into the bank seems to grow this relationship quickly. Is that always a prerequisite and necessary? And that's what.
I think it's one or two ways. I remember we used to have discussions. We're big dreamers, guys. If you're around us, we're always dreaming. I remember a conversation that Elder Carlo, myself, and Pastor Dogan, and some other guys. We were like, man, wonder if we could get 10 people with $10,000. And we pool the resources together, $100,000. Man, we take that to a bank. How they gonna ignore us? And then we found out $100,000 wasn't. It could be ignored. And but what we found is character in banking goes a long way. And so one of the banking relationships that I have right now, Terry, we love you, but one of the banking relationships that I have right now, that we have right now, came from a banker who wasn't even our banker initially. We were brought to the bank by another banker who was moving over. So that's the one thing about banking relationships. This banker called and said, hey, I'm moving to this bank. I want you to come with me. What I'm going to get if I come with you? So now you get the leverage relationship. You want me, I want something from it. And so you get the leverage that, well, this guy was leaving the bank, And his boss called and said, I don't want you to leave. And we said, okay. What that look like? Because everybody talks about us not being able to get resources from bank. The truth of the matter is you got to build some relationships, and relationships will get you to those resources. Well, long story short, that particular guy who told us to stay at the bank called one day, and he said, I'm starting a bank, and I want you and your brother with me. And I said, we need to talk on the phone. You want to go to breakfast? He said, let's do breakfast. I think you might have done breakfast with him, and I don't know y'all's conversation, but my conversation was this. I've got people that I do construction with. I've helped get into business. I've got people who are looking for loans. I need to know, if we come to you, bring our business, you make it happen? He said, I make it happen. And so then we do relationship. Yeah, and to a person, not one person that I sent to him, has he sent back and said we couldn't make it happen. And that's how it happens. That's how it happens over and over and over. Once you build character and once the people you send have that character, it expands that network within the banking relationship. So that's just that simple.
I want to add, so when I first started, I started, at 19. I think it was 19, trying to build my credit profile. Read a book, and it Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I think it taught me how to build my credit profile. But one way you do it is you start a loan, small loan with a bank, and then you introduce yourself. Tellers don't do loans. You got to go back and sit down when you do it. Then you introduce yourself, and then the book actually told me, like, when I make my payment, go in the bank, drop my payment off, and speak to the person that opened the account for me, and start it like that. Carolina Foothills has a savers, credit building savers, where it's a loan, I think $90-something a month, but at the end of it, you have $1,000 in your savings account. Well, when you go in, if go in there, open it up, it's going to build your credit, but it's also going to start your relationship with a banker who's right there and get to know you. And then when you have a need, either they will make the decision or they'll be a part of the loan committee that can vouch for you to get it done.
Man, that is absolutely beautiful. We're in our final 3 minutes. We're gonna keep going. We want some good stuff. I have a few here. I'm gonna come right here. We're gonna come right back to you. Beautiful, beautiful. And Carolina Foothills is here. They have a table set up in the back. So once we leave here, before you go and get some exit plates, if we have them, make sure you stop and see them. Yes, ma'am. I have some thoughts to that, but okay, would you like to speak on that? Okay, got you.
So here's what I'll tell you is for those that don't know my story, I used to work for my dad. Basically I've had 3 jobs my whole life. One was with my dad, and one's been for myself. And then I worked at a little restaurant when I was a teenager. But working for my dad, I came home one day and I told my wife, my dad's old school. His way is the only way a job can be done. I'm a creative by nature. I know it can be done different. And so there was automatic going to be some button of heads there. And so I'm like, one day, I know I got to just do my own thing, but I know I can't afford to do that because I got a family to take care of. And so I would work for my dad Monday through Friday, and every evening, every weekend, I was working my side job. And I worked it until it was too expensive for me to keep clocking in with my dad. It was you work it until you going to work is taking money away from the business or take it away from the business because the business is grown to that point. But until that, I wasn't leaving. There are folk who say, God told me to leave and go out. That's not my story, and that's all I can tell you is mine. I worked my job, and I worked my side until my side got big enough where it could feed my family, and so that was good.
If you take this information that he has given us and you know your controls and you understand it and you understand your books and you understand your numbers, I promise you once you get a grasp on that and you become a business versus a hobby, that'll be one less question you have to ask because it'll tell you when it's time to go. So last question. We have 30 seconds. Let's make it good.
What kind of? Not really. Technically, I'm not allowed to use, legally, I can't use what you post on Facebook or social media to make any hiring decisions. Now, if there's something that's contrary to the values of the company, we might have a conversation, but really I can't bring that into any type of interview questions that we would ask, as it really is not part of the job and the requirements and qualifications. Now, mind you, I will say that does not mean I don't know. Now, am I allowed to? I mean, yeah, social media is out there. So when you put it out there, yeah, we're going to see it. And there have been people that have saw things. We've had conversations about it, but we could not let that be the sole factor to determine whether or not we would hire somebody at the organization.
Man, y'all, this has been absolutely amazing. One thing about our business is we are always punctual, and we want to remain punctual. It is 8:30. That is our time, y'all. This has been, listen, before you leave, make sure you go see Carolina Foothills. Make sure you network and have at least 3 people that you can now call on, right? Social capital is everything. Do you have 3 people out of this room and their businesses that you can call on? And if you can send somebody to them and say, guess what? Call them because they know me. Listen, the business is in you. Last slide, last slide, last slide. Thank you. It's in you. It's in you. Keep it alive. Go back one. It's in you. Keep it alive. Thank you, guys. Hey, just a shameless plug. We are here Sundays, 9:45 a.m. We have breakfast. Every Sunday breakfast, 9:45. Our service starts at 11. We hope to see you again there as well. Thank y'all.